Go for it.
All right, all right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to All Angles Boxing and Combat Sports. Today we're having episode 18 with a special guest. I want to call him also a friend of ours, Austin No Doubt Trout. Welcome to the show, Austin. On the upper middle, you got Omar Batts. He's our media director. You got to the lower right, Big Surge, the Cut Man. That man right there is five-time World Cup Man of the Year, five-time world champion or world five-time Cup Man of the Year. Sorry, Big Surge. I'm trying to, and he does it in both. He does it in boxing and in combat sports. And we got Brittany right here too. For some reason, her screen is black. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. My camera won't turn on. I've tried to back in and out. I've allowed all the permissions. I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't know what's going on.
Well, we're going to hold on to you right there anyway, Brittany. If it pops up, it pops up.
Yeah, I'm here though.
Okay, girl, we appreciate you. And so, Austin, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thank you for having me, Dave.
Oh,
and
man.
Welcome, everybody. We hope to have a good show. No fighting on here, y'all.
Well, we'll let you handle all that.
That's right.
Big Surge will take care of you in the corner on that too.
I got you.
Right. So let's turn around. Omar, have you? I want to know, if you have any questions for Austin before we get going. Let's get our questions out of the way, and then we'll let the public have at it too.
Well, yeah. First, I want to, it's awesome to have you on here, and it's a pleasure to talk to you. And I'm a big fan as well. And just excited to get the show started. And we know about your fight you're gonna have soon, the bare knuckle boxing. And I just want to know how have you been preparing for that?
Well, there is I've been watching the bare knuckle fights. First off, that was the first set of homework I had to do was start watching bare knuckle. But honestly, I was already watching the fights because they're pretty darn entertaining. I don't know if you caught any, but man, them jokes be throwing down. Working on the hands, getting the hands conditioned. Knuckle push-ups, lots of finger push-ups, lots of dumbbell pull-ups with just the fingers. Getting the hands nice and strong, rice bucket drills. I don't know if you ever seen that kind of. It's a rolling machine, has a weight.
Yeah.
Roll it all the way up. Yeah, a lot of those.
Forms.
Trying to make these hands like Full Metal Jackets,
That's awesome.
I've been training with a lot of MMA fighters down here in Houston. We have a great MMA gym at Main Street, boxing, Muay Thai, and MMA. Krubo Bob Perez has been helping me with some of the clinching techniques because it really is a science. Just the holding and hitting. There's just little things that you could do where you can expose the chin, you can push the shoulder out. A lot of cool stuff that I feel like, man, I should have been using this ish in boxing the whole time. It's a lot of tools, and so I've been working with a lot of MMA guys just kind of on that clinching and stuff. Not saying I'm just gonna sit there and brawl with these guys. It's just that I know with my superior boxing skills that they're going to try and make the fight ugly. And I don't want to be caught with my pants down, so to speak, when it gets ugly. In fact, I want to be comfortable when the fights start to get a little rough and tough. And I am. In fact, I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
Wow, man, I'll tell you what, Austin, when you decided to go and do this, man, for me, because I'm such a fan of yours and a fan of boxing, I know you're a darn excellent boxer, man. I know you've always been in the top echelon of boxing, and I just hope that they don't mess with that pretty face. But
I just got to work on not getting hit. My head movement is still clean. So
yes.
As long as it's clean, I don't feel like I'm gonna get hit too much. And really, if I do, I have some good experience with fighting without gloves.
I'll bet you do, man.
And we'll just say that I've never hurt my hands, thank God.
Oh yeah,
outside of glove, and I've never been cut, swelled up, nothing like that.
Yeah,
fighting without gloves. So. My skin is pretty durable, thank God.
It sure is. And that brings up the man himself right here, man. Big Serge Estrada, the cut man, a man that I truly respect, a man that has been in this game. He's a combat war veteran himself. He's also him and his family are combat warriors at home as well, fighting at home. Big Serge, by all means, man. There's Mr. Austin, no doubt Trout for you, brother. What do you got to say for him, man?
Champ, first of all,
yes.
It's a pleasure speaking with you.
This is all mine, sir.
It's an honor to be here with Dave and with Bats. We're missing my boy Caesar. Brittany will probably jump back on here. I'm gonna touch on the bare knuckle aspect of it as well. Nobody can deny, no doubt Trout, 36 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, if I'm not mistaken.
Right on the point.
And so no one can take away from what you've already accomplished. I believe your last fight was December, wasn't it? December that just passed.
December 9th.
Somewhere in Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It was Texas Athletic Commission. I remember seeing that.
Yes,
how do you go? How did this get presented to you? And what, obviously a fighter's a fighter, and you can never deny a fighter's heart. But from going from bare knuckle, or from boxing to bare knuckle, you're still in the game, bro. Why go into something like that?
Well, one of my biggest problems in the last few years, 5-6 years of my career. In the last 5-6 years of my career, my biggest problem has been activity. I've wanted at least 3 fights a year. I've gotten 1, maybe. Thank God, I think last year I did get 2. This year, we'll see. It's been rough, not just getting fights, but dealing with the politics and whatnot. So when they offered me not just a fight, it's a good paying fight. It's the right fight. It's the right opponent, and it's going to up my activity. I'm like, look, and also it's giving me an opportunity to be a 2-sport world champion. I have very good chances. I don't want to say I'm a shoo-in, because then, that's a little bit too cocky, but I'm working to be that shoo-in for a BKFC, maybe 3-division world champion.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know Brittany can attest to bare knuckle boxing just like myself. Matter of fact, this coming Friday, I'm doing a show in Florida for BYB Extreme. So I'm no stranger to bare knuckle boxing. I'm the house cut man for that organization. And it's interesting, because I've been blessed to have been, nominated and awarded Cut Man of the Year 5 times already. Most of my work, and this is the interesting part of it, I'm being recognized by MMA organizations, when the majority of my work is in boxing. Like, I do MMA as well, but it's just funny to me, because I would have thought that, so active that I am in the boxing community, that the recognition would be coming from them versus an MMA world. But to me, it doesn't matter to me at the end of the day. You know, if I'm being recognized, obviously, it's because I'm probably doing something right.
Well, to be honest, boxing is usually late to give people their flowers.
Right.
You know, look at Holly Holm.
Absolutely.
She won every belt in the women's division that you could win. And boxing didn't care nothing about her. As soon as she switched over to MMA, they gave her all the love and accolades that she deserved. So.
Then she was recognized as such.
And then she was recognized, although she had more championships, more belts, more titles in boxing, but was never. I loved Holly Holm, so I was always on her tip. But boxing didn't give her flowers until maybe. And really, they still haven't.
Well, in that case, though, boxing doesn't really give women the flowers. Like, let's just be real there too. So
that is true.
Just up until recently, with your Sinisa Estradas, Clarissa Shields,
I do like the direction it's going, but you're right. The girls it was a little bit tougher back then. Shout out to Christy Martin. Christy Martin was knocking shorties out.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And Wolf stretching them. So you're right. You're right. They should have been giving them shorties their flower. Them women should have been fighting the O2 arenas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like I said, I was just kind of curious, and you made a good point. I've heard there's other boxers, even active boxers that have gone into the bare knuckle forum, and I've heard the same. I'm just not active enough. My manager, my promoter just isn't. They're just not making it happen for me, and I gotta fend for myself and look out for my family and myself and my best interest, and who knows, maybe this will open other doors, and put another trophy on the shelf, like you said. Like I said, I do know that you fought December of last year, and like you mentioned, I think before that you had 2 fights in 2021, and then you jumped from there. I think it was 1 in 20 and a few more in 19. So I can see where you're coming from, where someone, we got to get paid. We got to work. And like I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure you can never deny a fighter's heart. So when the opportunity knocks, fighters will take them.
Absolutely. And also, not to mention, I am a rhythm fighter. So me being out of work for a year, it really don't matter if I'm in the gym the whole time, which I try to be. But it's just, I'm not in that same, it's not the same. I'm not in that rhythm. And so as long as you keep me active, I stay in that rhythm, I stay in that beat, and nobody can beat me. I'm very hard to beat. So I'm very happy that my last fight was in December, which means I was able to roll right into this camp.
Exactly.
And poor Diego, you know what I mean? He's believing the Kool-Aid that he's
He really is. So I have a question. I have been a huge fan of Bare Knuckle since, I attended Knuckle Mania 1 live. And,
look at you OG.
Yeah, I fell in love with that shit, man. Like, I've never been to a BYB event live yet, but I am itching to go, and I really hope they're coming to Denver at some point.
We'll make it out there. I know right now we're projecting March. We're heading out to Dubai, so that's the big project. We're bringing Bare Knuckle for the first time to Dubai, so it's gonna be.
Look, Albuquerque's not that far from Denver.
No, not
it's
at all.
Really not. Albuquerque's not that far from Denver, and I'm a huge fan of Christine Misfit Frias. She's unbeatable in bare knuckle in the 125-pound division, and that I'll stand for that with the BYB girls too. Like, there's just no beating Misfit. But my question for you is, with activity, I know that some promotions like to say that you can once, and I don't know if this is true, and I don't know what you can say, so feel free to tell me to shut up and it's none of my business. But are you able to still box or, do other activities outside of bare knuckle after this camp, or did you sign a multi-fight deal with them?
It's kind of a one-off. I do hope that a multi-fight deal comes up. But I'm able to take this fight and go fight for WBA World Championship.
Right, as of right now. So, and that's my question is, just make sure that if and when they do sign you with a multi-fight deal, I know that they don't like to always say yes to allowing, their athletes performing in other promotions. So just advocate for yourself in that
Right.
stance.
And that's understandable, especially in combat sports. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
For them to keep it exclusive, it is actually smart on their part.
It
For
is,
them
but you also
protect
got
them.
to
But for
eat.
me,
And if
exactly. For me, it's not the best move for me to stay exclusive like that. Especially when I'm ranked number 6 in the WBA. I'm ranked number 9 in the IBF. You know what I mean? I'm a few fights away from a title shot, God willing. So, me being a world champion in the boxing, or even the world titles in the boxing, coming back to the BKFC only makes them look bigger. So, I think they can see the value in having a 2-sport champion that's active in both
absolutely.
sports.
I don't disagree at all there. And like this Facebook comment here says, to remember to condition your hands, punch that wood board as much as you can.
Yeah.
You got to get that calcium buildup on those
For
bones,
sure.
man.
I'll tell you
And I've
firsthand.
noticed too, it's not even just these knuckles here that I had to condition. It was these knuckles here too that were getting sore, and I'm like, damn, I guess I should just keep knocking on these things, because even these things get sore.
There's a big difference when you're used to having a nice padded glove plus a nice knuckle pad. It's nice, and then when all of a sudden it's knuckles to bone.
Knuckles to bone.
And you gotta remember, you don't have the gloves on to help.
So you gotta catch all that in your elbow.
Catch all that.
Yep.
Catching your hand. Also, another thing I'm noticing, since I've been taking the gloves off and hitting everything pretty much, pads, bags, I'm able to make more of a solid fist outside the glove. In the glove, basically your hands is just like this.
Right.
You never get to bring that thumb around. It just stays like this.
Yep.
No wonder I've hurt my hands in the gloves numerous times. I got to work on bringing that sucker all the way down. At least, I know I can't do nothing about the thumb, but in the glove, I need to start bringing that thing all the way down.
Yeah.
Without it, my hands are locked in, solid, and I've been cracking. Thank God I haven't had any hand problems.
That's good.
Anytime really in my
Austin,
career.
you got a Facebook comment here. So I don't know who it is, but somebody that you used to box with as kids. They're cheering you on for making these big moves.
Hey, because from Las Cruces, pal, for sure. Big up to the homie.
Yeah, that's awesome. How fucking excited are you though? Straight up, Knuckle Mania 3, bro.
Dude, I'm hyped. And my wife, she's not excited at all. My mother neither. They're like, you gonna put us through this? As if boxing wasn't enough.
Right.
But I'm like, look, Ma, this is what I do. And for real, I'm from New Mexico. You know how they say when you're about to get in a fight, there's nothing but space and opportunity. In New Mexico, there is nothing but space and opportunity. You have beef with somebody, you're gonna run into them about 2 or 3 times that day because everybody goes to the same place. And the desert's everywhere. There. You know what I mean? Eventually it's like, look, I'm tired of running into you, I'm tired of holding this. Let's go ahead and do this. So, fist fights weren't uncommon growing up. And I know that's not something that's allowed now, but I think if people got more fist fights, there'd probably be less shootings. Who knows?
Right.
I believe that.
But I'm hyped. I'm excited. And the more I train, the more I do some sparring, the more I can't wait to show y'all, the grit and just the creativity that they allow me to do because we have more tools.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, Austin, I grew up in the city of Denver, and I'm going to be honest with you, man. I know about the street fighting. I know about the bare knuckle. I understand it very well. I've had my hands busted 7 ways from Sunday. I've had my knuckles sunken. I had to bring them back little by little over the years just by keep on pulling those fingers out and whatnot. But, I used to train with a gentleman by the name of Dave Zapata back in Denver, Colorado, when they were recruiting us as young Chicanos in the city of Denver. And this was for our brotherhood, the Brown Berets, back in the late 70s, early 80s. And they had some tactics, man, that we did with our hands. And one of them was we had it was like a half barrel, and they'd fill it up with rice, and they put a burner underneath that half barrel, and they would heat the raw rice. It never cook, you know what I mean? But it would just get hot. And we would actually have to stick our hands all the way to the bottom of that thing, like this, thumbs in, and just nail it until you bled. And then you let them heal. Then you let them heal, and then you go back and do it again. Exactly. So that being said, you could slap a guy and knock him out if you have the power, because the scar tissue is so built up, and the calluses were so built up. So I mean, I would go back to my old tactics if I had to go into a bare knuckle fight, man, and I'd make sure I have rocks on it. Those are your rocks,
Yeah, I mean, shit. I got about 2 weeks left. I'm about to go find me a barrel to I got the bucket and the rice. You know what I mean? I was doing that. That was amateur hour, apparently. You gotta do a boiling pot of rice.
Listen, these old dogs, they were walking miles in the snow to school.
Uphill.
Two ways uphill. Oh man. Well, Austin, congratulations, man, for making that move, and I saw, when we last interviewed you, I had saw that, the issues with getting you fights. I mean, to be that highly ranked, I mean, it's like, what is the deal here? What is going on with the boxing world? Somebody like you is so marketable and so, I mean, you're just ready to go all the time. And I know you're always in shape. So, even us that I'm in the boxing world, just that much. I'm just getting there. I'm just working it back into it for the last 2.5 years. And, but guys like Big Surge, or the guys that I follow, Red Hot Rob,
Hey, shout out to Rob, man. I grew up watching you, and I know you was in Colorado, but you was always on the rankings in NewMexicoBoxing.com. So yeah, shout out to Rob. He was a warrior for sure.
He is a warrior. Did you know Rob's making a comeback?
Come on, let's go, champ.
Thanks, champ. Right on. That means a lot. That means a lot to me, Austin. Thanks, man. Hey, bro, I've been watching you too, bro. You're amazing, man. I'm proud of you, bro. You come along, man.
Hey, thank you. That means a lot for sure.
Hey, when he asked me to be on here with you, bro, I was like, wow, I got starstruck,
man.
Like,
bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I grew up watching him.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you grew up doing that, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
The whole four corner area.
Yeah.
And I was paying attention watching all of them.
Right on, man.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of love for New Mexico, Texas, all the Southwest, man, because that's where we all come from. Our blood is all the way down from Mexico all the way up to Canada. It is what it is, and what came from that? Nothing but warriors, man. So
for real,
you gotta be a warrior to be down that corridor,
Straight up. I mean, we're bred different. That's why this whole thing with me and Diego, it's state-wise, locally, it's a big deal. The North versus the South, Las Cruces versus Albuquerque.
Yes.
Red chili versus green chili. Like that red up there.
Red chili versus green chili.
The South versus green. Aggies versus Lobos. It's definitely a battle of I-25. And then the whole scale of things is boxing versus MMA.
Yeah.
Although it's not fair, it's really in the boxing's favor, just throwing hands. But I'm gonna take it.
Better work that clinch, you boxer.
Yeah, I'm good at that shit though.
I'm just saying, I notice it every time with all these fights. When a boxer takes on that MMA guy, that clinch is where it fucks him up.
I know. I remember the first thing I said was,
you're working that clinch. I know you said it.
And I watched, like, for instance, Chop Chop. Shout out to Corley. He's my guy. He's cool and all, but he thought he was just gonna box. He was just gonna box the whole thing. Yeah. Same with Paulie. Paulie, they thought they were just gonna come in and just box the whole time.
Yep.
And I'm like, nah, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. If you stay outside and let me box, God bless you. That's stupid of you. If you come inside and try to fight me, God bless you. That's gonna be stupid of you. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you go, we fighting inside out, and that's kind of what we got it because it's a fight. You know what I mean? And you lose points for like going back. So we ain't gonna run. We just gonna step around. Feel me?
Yeah.
Angles.
Yeah.
Use them angles, brothers.
Get around.
Use those angles, watch those, you know what I mean? I see it more with the MMA guys too. They're really quick to throw that punch on their downed opponent. They're not used to holding back. As a boxer, you'll be used to that. The referees, I will say, they're pretty inconsistent with taking away the points and, you know what I mean, reprimanding the fighters that do that. So just, you got this, though. I think you win this fight,
I just won't let them get me down.
Nah, I think you win this fight easy. You could take him by the fourth, So
I don't think it's gonna be easy because Diego. At the end of the day, Diego can take an ass whooping.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Whether skills, this, that, and third.
He's got the power.
He's just resilient. So we're gonna have to beat him up till he can't be beat up no more. I wonder what his body's hitting for. We're gonna try that.
I love the way you bring that up. So real quick, let me do this. I'm gonna have to do a shout out here to a couple of our fans, and some of them for some reason aren't coming all the way up. So, but right here, Love Romero, that's our Aralita, our niece. Lita, she's always on board, man. She's always giving us love, and we appreciate her support every week. She's there no matter what. We got Angel Silva Sandoval. Thank you for joining us, Angel. We appreciate your support. We got Tony Chavez from the east side of Denver, Colorado. This guy's been part of our family since I was a kid, running around, running amok over there in the streets. Thank you, Tony, for joining us. Of course, we got the original Nuts and Bolts, my wife, Mary Trujillo. That's my number one support right there. We got Philip Akba Johnson. Now, this brother here, man, this guy is a karate, black belt in karate. I mean, he's been doing this forever. He retired about 20 years ago, and he's still training people in the gym. So shout out to you, Phil. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the love. And then as far as I know, that's all I can see on the names, but we have a ton of other, and I'll figure out how to get them up here. Let's see. Okay. We've got, let's see here. Yeah, and that's the ones that I could read right now. The other ones I don't know why they're coming up, but I don't mean to not bring you up and do the shout out to you guys, but thank you so much for your support. We're on board with Austin Trout. Red Hot Rob, I'd like to hear you ask some more questions here before we get into the nitty gritty of what Austin is truly about in his hometown.
Yeah. Hey, Austin. First, just want to say what's up, my champ. It's good to see you, brother.
Hey, you too, man. You too.
Yeah, man. I was just looking at your record, man. I didn't know that you fought Miguel Cotto.
Yeah, that was really the fight that put me on. And, I was fighting under the radar in other people's backyards, and then I actually had 2 Showtime fights before I got to Miguel Cotto, but I was so under the radar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then boom, pop up Miguel Cotto. Geez, that and then you beat him.
Whooped him too.
Hey, that put you in the book, bro. That put you in the book right there. But also, I was looking at the Charlo fights. You got 2 fights with Jermell Charlo, and the first fight looks like you lost a decision. Was it unanimous? Yeah. And then the second fight, a majority. But on the second fight, it says that you were put down in the 3rd and 9th round, and you still, one judge scored it a draw.
Yeah.
Which tells me without those knockdowns,
bro, I would have had that.
I think you had that fight.
And one of those knockdowns was straight bullshit, bro. I'm still mad at that ref. To this day.
Who's the ref there? Who was that? Jack Reese.
Man.
Sorry, I'll say it for you.
I'm still mad at him to this day.
Yeah, man. I see
he caught me in the back of the head, and he pulled me down. And I come down to the knee because he pulled me down, and I get up and I tell the ref, watch the back of the head. And the ref is about to say, fight. He looks at me, tell him, to tell him to watch the back of the head, and he's like, "Don't tell me how to do my job." 1, 2. I was like, "What?"
I've been in the ring with a few refs like that were really just horrible, man, and you could tell that they had a choice in that ring, and they were making a choice, you know.
Yeah,
they weren't middle ground. So,
it's this one.
But I'm looking at it, man,
in
and
all
that fight was
actuality,
yours.
I fought Jamal Charlo the first time and had the unanimous decision loss, which I feel like I won that fight for sure.
Yeah.
Round 6 through 12 was on me. And I won at least 2 or 3 rounds in the first 6 rounds. But then again, I don't get close decisions, but it is what it is. And then I fought his brother Jamel Charlo, who again, it was close, except for those 2 knockdowns. I was controlling the whole fight the whole time, except for those knockdowns.
Well, pretty impressive, man. You got a really impressive resume, man. And just looking at it today, I was just because I wanted to. I don't know all your whole career. I know about you, and I know that you're a champ. But I wanted to dive in a little bit more about you just before I got on here because I didn't want to come on here and be like, "So, how's the weather in New Mexico today?" But yeah, man, I just wanted to ask you about that, and also one more thing about the Miguel Cotto fight, just because I met Miguel Cotto once in Puerto Rico when I fought out there, and he was a really, really nice guy, but very, very stern.
He's the introvert.
Yeah. I asked if I could take a picture with him, and it was okay, but you could kind of tell he was like, he's just real, But I wanted to ask you, how was he after the fight? Like, what kind of did you guys talk or anything? Or
he really, he maybe said 10 words to me, but
okay.
In his defense, I seen him only say like 10 words to his wife the whole time. So he's not much of a talker. But again, he was very professional. He was a gentleman. He was polite. He was all that in a good champion. But you could tell he's not the one built for this public eye. Whenever we were doing like the press conference and all the tours and whatnot, I'm a social butterfly. I'll talk to anybody, and especially how I came up. It wasn't like I had the machine behind me. I felt like the next fight could be my last fight. They don't want me here anyway. I'm not, from the machine. So let me go ahead and take every picture that I can, because 1, they may not want it forever. 2, in case I fall off, I don't want nobody to be like, he fell off because he was a dick. Nah. They're gonna love me on the high, and they're gonna love me on the low. So I always kind of try to keep that attitude. Also, when I was in camp with Shane Mosley, the way he kind of just talked to everybody, I was like, when I'm as big as him, if I ever get to be that big, I'm gonna be just as humble and cool as him.
Shane Mosley is cool, man.
Cool cat.
I've met him a few times.
Play
too.
basketball
He's a good
together,
brother.
all that good stuff. Man.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I never got to play ball with him, but I got to talk with him and his son too. His son's a real nice kid.
His son's a good kid. Yeah. He was raised right.
Awesome. Yeah, right on, man. Hey, I appreciate being here. Man, besides all that, bro, what you just said, I appreciate that, man. Dave told me that he got to meet you and that you were a real humble, real down-to-earth person, man. And I don't think I've ever spoke with you before, but sitting here with you now, man, it's a breath of fresh air to see somebody where you're at and the things you've done in boxing, and to be able to have that humbleness about you. I think that takes a lot for us as men to have that kind of humbleness, So, hey, I appreciate that. And also, I had a quick question. I'm from Denver, and you're from New Mexico. I was born in New Mexico in Albuquerque.
Okay.
That's where I was. I was never raised there or anything, but I was up here most of my life. But back when I was coming up in boxing, there was a lot of this going on between New Mexico and Colorado. I don't know if you remember that on RockyMountainBoxing.com. We used to talk all the time on there. But I was wondering if you ever had any like beef with anybody from Colorado. Or not beef,
really,
but
like necessarily, but a little rivalry.
Yeah.
Marvin Cordova.
That guy.
That motherfucker, you still be talking shit, man.
Is he still going? Oh man, I'm sorry, bro.
To this day.
Marvin, what you doing, man? If you watch
Much too much. But shout out to Marvin. You know what I mean, I'll put it out there. In silver gloves, bro. He knocked me out. Like my
really?
first year in silver gloves, and he never let me go. But ask him what happened to golden gloves.
Ah, that's what we gotta say, right? Yeah. What happened next?
Ask him what happened in golden gloves when we grew up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other than that,
Yeah, it's always fun when you get that
get that back.
Yeah, be like, hey, that happened, but guess what happened after that? Yeah. Well, cool, man. It's nice talking to you. Thank you, Dave, for letting me on here.
Oh, brother, man, thank you for coming on board. You're a blessing. You know, I mean, this is just amazing to be here with everybody here. You know, back in the day, there was two guys in rest in peace, Johnny Tapia and Paulie Ayala, you know, out of New Mexico. And they were a hometown rivalry, I believe. They both from. Yes, and man, I'll tell you what, those guys, man, were just something else back in the day to watch that rivalry go at, you know.
Hey, you know, in San Antonio, they still got hate for Johnny. And in Albuquerque, we still don't fuck with Paulie.
Well, he must have did something right? My gosh, man. But what a rivalry that one was there. You know, in the amateurs, when I was boxing, there was a lot of the Denver guys had it out for Carrot Pacheco from New Mexico. I don't know if you guys remember that name.
Yeah, I remember Pacheco.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't think he ever turned pro, but he was a fantastic amateur, you know, fast and quick and very smart boxer as an amateur. You know, so it's so nice to, you know, be able to reminisce just a little bit about the old history back in there. I could go back all day around with Denver, Colorado, believe me, but to get into the New Mexico where most of my other families from, you know, whether it's all the way from, even up from El Paso, all the way up, you know, we got family all the way from El Paso, Texas, all the way up, you know, but it's refreshing to me to be able to bring up the Southwest Corridor. Because the Southwest Corridor for so many years has not been until social media. You know, we had guys come out of there like Stevie Johnston back in the day. You know, this is after Ron Lyle, maybe a couple of other pros, but Stevie Johnston, I mean, he got on the map there. Came out of the 20th
Vince
Street.
Phillips too, wasn't he from Colorado?
Who's that?
Vince Phillips.
Yes. Vince Phillips. And so then you had him. And then there was like a big, you know, then there was a big thing. And then Red Hot Rob came out.
Yeah.
We all know who he is. And then who is the other one? Man, him and he had a rivalry with Bam Bam out of Kansas, which is Mike Alvarado. Yep. Mike Alvarado. You know, I think Mike Alvarado is coaching now, isn't he? Red Hot, from what I understand.
I haven't heard anything about that. I thought he was coming back to fight again too.
I heard something
last summer he was talking to me about coming back to fight. So
right,
but I don't know.
Yeah, so
you know, I guess we're all coming out.
Why not? You know, I mean, why not? I hear there's a lot of money to be made. You know, after the professional careers too. You know.
Yeah. Oh
so,
yeah.
You know,
hey, Dave.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, I feel kind of rude. Hi, Brittany.
Oh, no problem.
Sergio, what's up, my man? I need to say hi to you guys. What's going on? Good to see you again, Sergio. Brittany, see you next week. What's going on, my brother? I'm sorry about I forgot your name.
My name's Omar.
Omar,
nice
hey,
to meet
Omar.
you, brother.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Good to see you.
So before we get into the nuts and bolts of what Austin's truly about at home, I got to do another shout out to one of our guys from the House of Pain, Southern California, Jose Flores. Thank you for coming and watching the show, Jose. We appreciate you, brother. That's a good young man right there, man. We just had celebrated his birthday on Friday, and man, I think we walked out with about weighing 10 pounds heavier after that dinner.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jose.
Happy birthday, man.
You know, but so Austin, you know, we all share a lot of love. Of course, we're all passionate about what we do, and especially being in the world of boxing and combat sports. Tell us about what you got going on at your gym and what you're doing with the people there.
Yeah, man. It's I've been doing this since about 2018. It's called Rock Steady Boxing. What it is it is Parkinson's boxing therapy. So
Nice.
who would have thought boxing actually helps with Parkinson's? Because the most famous fighter of all times happens to catch Parkinson's, and now we associate boxing and Parkinson's as a cause. They don't know what causes Parkinson's. They can't say it's boxing. They would assume it's the head trauma, but honestly, as far as boxers go, there's a small percentage of them that suffer from Parkinson's. So, that's not necessarily it. But what they have proof of is that boxing does help alleviate the symptoms, and even in fact, it's not a cure, but it will reverse the progression that you had. And that's the results. That's what the science says. Now, from me, from what I've seen, from since I've been certified and started working with some of these fighters, I call them fighters and not patients because we're all fighting some kind of fight, right?
Yeah. True.
For them, the fight that they're fighting is really their own body. They're fighting to take control of themselves, and boxing helps them literally take control back of their life. It's the coordination. You got the hand, foot, hand, eye, feet, hands, and all those different coordinations, plus with some of the brain games that we put them through, it makes new neurological connections. So what Parkinson's does is it cuts off the neurological connection, which means you have less control over your motor skills, over your facial features, over certain things. What boxing will do, and that's through the high intense interval training, coupled with some brain kind of games. Like I try to confuse them. I have this thing I call boxing algebra, and I'll make a combination equal X, and I'll say 1, 2, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, X, and they have to put in the combination with where X is. But with the physical working out and the mental working out at the same time, what ends up happening is a new neurological pathway is connected. So if they have tremors because the pathway was shut off and we end up making the new connection, the tremors go away. And again, it's not a cure because eventually that pathway will get disconnected again because it's an advancing disease. But for the time being, we'll just keep making new connections until there's no more connections to make.
Wow.
So again, this is from seeing for myself, and I've been doing this since 2018. Unfortunately, we have lost some fighters, to the disease. But man, I tell you, when they came into the gym, and within the first month, they're riding their bikes again. They're having dinner with friends and family again because they can control themselves. More than even just the physical aspect and getting their physical body back. The social aspect of it is huge because a lot of times it's a very it makes you single yourself out. You don't want to have to speak up because your voice and your face and your shakes and people get embarrassed and things like that. So when we bring them to a class where you have, let's say in Las Cruces we got like a class of 30. So say we have like 30 other people that are going through the same thing that you're going through. And even though everybody's different and everybody's doing something different, it's all the same thing in a sense. And you see these people starting to have dates, dinner dates and movie dates. And I'm sitting there like, y'all making plans without me now? All right, that's fine. So just being able to witness, the quality of life that we've been able to give back with this boxing therapy. It's had me think about what else can boxing cure. For me, it cures everything. Everything you could think of, I bring it back to boxing. Like, was it harder than running 5 miles? No. Nope. This ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I've started looking into it, and I mean, I'm not certified with this, so I'm not trying to pretend I am. Dementia, Alzheimer's, just aging of the brain, boxing helps with. I have a client who she had a brain tumor and she had the brain tumor removed. During the removal of the brain tumor, they cut all kinds of things. She had to relearn how to talk, walk, get her facial features back. She had a lot of issues with her brain. And when she came to me, her brain deficit was at about almost 70%. 2 months with me and doing some of this brain work and boxing work, her brain deficit went all the way down to 29%. Wow. So again, it's still in the red, but it's got so much better than what it was. And you know, just more work. And I'm not the only person she sees. She has a physical therapist. She does some ninja training, but she said that the biggest deficit that she's overcome was when she started doing some of this boxing brain work. So I had to talk about it because, man, it's really helping out people's lives. And again, I mean, I train people and I have clients that have nothing wrong with their brain diagnosed wise, but nonetheless, the boxing has gotten them more confident. It's got them, you know, to chill out. Things that they thought were hard are not hard no more because boxing is one of the hardest things you'll ever do.
Wow.
Combat
That's
sports,
amazing.
Period, for real. Because, you know, yeah. I'm doing this MMA training. That shit's hard.
Right.
Combat sports, period.
Wow. You know what, Austin? We're also in the same lines of truly where our hearts are. I mean, we know what our passion is, but where are our hearts? You know, and our hearts is to be of service to people who are in need. You know, and so I admire you even more.
Yeah, me too, bro. That's awesome, man.
And again, Dave, we got to talk about this mentorship program because I'm trying to you know what I mean? We got the Parkinson's that deals with the elderly. Now we got to talk about the kids. You know what I mean? We got to take care of the old folks and the young folks. That's kind of our job as healthy adults, right? So on another time, me and you will talk about how we implement that mentorship program. I'm trying to make the gym be the stable place in a lot of people's lives, especially those that ain't got a stable home. You know what I mean? A stable family. The gym could be that. Well, the gym is that. It ain't no can. Really everybody that walks into my gym's doors, they get treated like family right away. And if that family member ain't a good family member, we get them up out of there right away as well. We don't tolerate the nonsense. And people want to be part of this family because, like, you know, we got your back.
Yep. You know, it's true. What we've done here, and I've mimicked all the House of Pains and all my people from back home. You know, all the way, even David Mingo from Brick City Boxing. You know, and all the other brothers we go back with that box now have their own gyms. You know, it seems to be a beautiful way for us now that we're older to actually, now that we understand and we're seasoned in our journeys and what have you, and we become, you know, transparent with ourselves and with the man upstairs. I mean, without him, none of this is possible, and we all know that.
Amen.
And so that being said, you know, being a beacon like you say, being a staple for the people in the community, the lighthouse, so to speak, you know, and just a home of refuge for people who are seeking to better themselves and or seek some type of brotherhood, sisterhood, family orientated environment. You know, it's funny because it's such a hostile, in a beautiful way, environment that you learn. But I'll say this, like I've said it before years ago, or a few years back when we were bringing up the House of Pain in Southern California, and I'll say it again, and I'll always say it. I says, boxing brings you to the depths of yourself. This is where you learn to know who you really are, and whether it's in the ring or whether it's putting your body through the conditioning and all the way to you can't give no more. You know, that's when you get to know who you are. You know, it's not the voices you hear in your brain when you're all by yourself. It's as you're putting your body through pain, and that pain there, you know, if you don't get to know yourself through that pain, which it taught me when I was younger, I'll tell you what, it made my life a lot easier in the world. And it'll make everybody's life a lot easier in the world because you understand who you are. Most people have never got to that point, and they could be in their 40s, 50s, even 60s and not even get to know who they are.
That's a fact.
You know? So therefore, you know, the mentorship part of this whole deal, it's like I told you prior to the show, anybody that comes in there We speak to them as sir or ma'am, and I don't care if they're 5 years old, 6 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old, 100 years old, and we appreciate the same respect back as in coach, or sir and ma'am the same way. And it's not, it's just the fact of self-respect, number one. Because if you have self-respect, then you know how to respect others. If you have zero self-respect, it comes right out on that mouth. You know what I mean? You're showing people who you truly are right off the bat. But when you come with the self-respect, man, that just means so much, especially when you see a young child coming up to you and you've seen where he's come from, where it's like, yeah, huh, what, no, what, you know what I mean? And the way they're talking, then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks later, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, coach, no, coach. Yeah. That's the beginning of it all. That's the beginning of us all touching our communities and bringing these kids up to be productive, the start of them being productive members of society.
Yep.
And so Austin, I mean, man, we have a lot to talk about, and I'll call you and I will definitely, we'll chat, we'll talk, anything you need, I can help you with, any knowledge I have, I can help you with, any resources I have, I will help you with. And, I'm here. That's what I'm here for. I mean, I
appreciate that. And ditto, man, if you want to get on to this Parkinson boxing therapy, it's very simple. It's not hard to join. You know what I mean? They're a nonprofit as well. So it's not like they're trying to break the bank. And it's great information. And the stuff that they teach you, you can take that and you can use it to any brain deficit, honestly. Of course, they need to make sure that their doctors is going to allow them to fight or to train. But if they get that clearance, man, you can help out a lot of people with that information.
We're definitely joining that. We're definitely I'm going to talk to you, and maybe I give you a call. I know next week. Is it next week your fight, or is it 2 weeks?
About 2 weeks. It's the 17th.
So what I'll do is I'll throw you a text, and we'll see if we can't chat during the week. This week when you got some time, but brother, we're on the same lines together in that.
Awesome. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it so much.
No problem. So real quick, I got to do a couple more shout outs because now I'm figuring out how to work this big old screen. I have a 59-inch screen where before I had 10-inch screens. So right now, here's the man himself. This is okay. This is Juan Curiel. He is the president or the CEO of the ABO, American Boxing Organization, which I am proud to be a part of as well. I'm the North American coordinator, which will be working with. It looks like we lost Austin. We'll be working with, in the U.S. and in Mexico. So that's a beautiful thing right there. Thank you, Juan, for joining us. Jesse Moreno is the owner of Temecula Boxing Academy, who holds the champion. The champion is, I'm sorry, I'm getting another little note over here, right here. The champion is Raul Lizarraga, which we just got to see it. And Omar's going to throw up a thing here soon. For that, right now, he's going to be fighting this weekend here. He's going to defend 2 titles, which is the ABO title and the global title, the out of Red Promotions this next Saturday. So we will be there to join Raul, and we're going to crown this young man again. We believe in him. We believe he's going to take that fight right there. So that being said, that's about the ABO right there. We got another one of my cousins right here, Arturo Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us, Arturo. He's always supporting us and what have you. He's also a big movement in Denver, Colorado, especially with the Gente and the Raza movement for, over 60 years. This man has been involved in all that. But that being said, that's enough of all the shout outs there. Looks like Austin might have thought we were done, or maybe he just dropped off. But I did get word that Colorado has got some amazing freezing cold. Is that right out there?
Yeah, we're sitting at 1 degree right now.
Yeah,
Wow.
with a feels like of
Whoa.
like -20.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that explains probably why you guys are freezing up. Literally.
Yeah, it's pretty cold.
No pun intended, man. You guys got to stay warm some way, somehow, man. I could only imagine those heating bills.
Oh,
You know?
it's bad, yeah.
Really
But
ridiculous.
I'll still be at my final round fitness class tomorrow. That's for sure.
Oh, right on. Proud of you. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Me too.
Yeah.
Proud of you. That's awesome.
Yeah, proud
It's
of
a
you.
lot of fun.
Need
I
to
really
see
like
there.
it. It's since Austin's not here, I'd love to give a shout out to the final round fitness class, the guys over at the House of Pain East.
Thank you.
Put on this class for all levels. I have no combat sports. I have very minimal sports involvement in my past. I ran a little track, played a little volleyball, but that's about it. But, I'm thicker than a Snicker. I got an extra little chin growing here, and I was like, man, I ain't going to Planet Fitness after work. I need some accountability here. I saw this class that Rob was posting. I was like, fuck it, let me give it a shot. You know what I mean? It'll at least give me a different level of appreciation for, the fighters that I'm announcing and the amount of work that they're putting in. I'm doing this twice a week for an hour. They're doing this every day for multiple hours, some of them all day. And it's like, what? Huh?
What? Yeah.
But this class is awesome. Like,
Thank you so much.
I'm the beginner, so I'm just learning how to get my head under that line. You know what I mean? And Rob's back there, ha ha ha, and I'm like, oh God, I love it. I'm just happy to be here. And it's a really fun class. Coach Adrian does a great job of like not making me feel like a complete idiot, and I have a lot of fun with it. I love being the only girl. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like I have something to prove to these boys, which I know I don't, but in my mind I do.
Yeah.
So shout out to everybody at the final round fitness class. There's multiple classes, 5-6 days a week, I think. Reach out to Coach Adrian, reach out to Coach Rob, reach out to the House of Pain East gym. If you want to try a class, your first class is free. You're not committed to anything.
Thank you.
And they'll make you feel at home, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fun class. I have no intentions on punching anybody in the face or, being punched in the face, but I'm having a lot of fun with a class I never thought I'd want to do. And and I've really enjoyed it. So
that's amazing. Thank you so much.
I can't wait to see you again in class.
Yeah, you will. Definitely.
It'll be a fun cold week there. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's supposed to be cold all week. So here we go.
Yep.
We're gonna warm it up though in that gym.
Hell yeah, we will.
Shout out to Final Round Fitness, House of Pain East, everybody involved, Red Hot Rob. I got some questions for Big Surge here coming up here, but I'm going to do some real quick shout outs real quick because I know Big Surge, man. This guy's always been going at it, and he's getting ready to go at it some more, and I've been watching him. But now, I want to give a shout out to Carlos Mora, man. Thank you, brother, for joining us, ex-Marine right there, or never an ex, always a Marine. Brenda Zaragoza, thank you so much for always supporting us and joining us. Rosa and Jose Aguilera with the twins, who we call the future. Thank you for your support always, and the twin support as well. Again, I'll say Arturo Rodriguez, my primo from Denver, Colorado. Vincent Rodriguez, my primo from Denver, Colorado. Appreciate you for always supporting us, because thank you so much. We got Barbara Biskiner. Thank you for joining us and always supporting us. You're always there. Appreciate you. And right now, I think that's about it. So I need to get in what's up with what's happening and get up to date with Big Surge Estrada here. I see some things happening. Sinisi Estrada, other things going on with the Bare-Knuckle. What's going on, big brother? How you doing, man?
Just taking it one day at a time, trying to stay busy, just like everybody else, staying busy, taking on tasks that weren't expected, and jumping on opportunities that are knocking, so more than anything, just taking care of things at home. as you know, the situation here at home. I've been asked. I was asked to come out and coach a JV high school softball team.
Right
so
on.
I'm doing that. Monday through Friday, I'm coaching the JV group of girls out here in Apple Valley, and I'm ecstatic about that. Great talent, great kids, and they have great futures ahead of them. So I've been busy doing that as well. But yeah, just trying to stay not just active, but meaningful. I like to me, if you're not doing something that's going to leave a thumbprint behind or make a difference in someone else's life, is not as satisfying as taking on tasks that actually do that. So to me, like I said, being blessed to call myself a JV high school softball coach, that's crazy.
That's cool.
I've coached Pop Warner levels. I've coached AYSO. I've done some, even in the military, some coaching there as well, but never in my life did I think I'd wear the title of a high school JV coach. To me, it's a trip. It's cool.
Wow, that's you're to be admired, Big Surge. I mean, on all ends of the spectrum as well, brother. You know.
I enjoy mentoring, man. Like I've said, before, and I'll always say it, that combat sports saved me in the sense that it gave me meaning again. It gave me purpose again. After my entire career in the military, and when I finally retired, it was like, now what? I have soldiers to mentor. I don't have soldiers that are getting in trouble, and here they are coming to me asking, hey, how can I get myself out of this? I want to be a better person, whatever the case may be. It left a big void in my life. And not to say that, I didn't have my own kids to be that father, mentor figure to, but I was so used to always having, a platoon, a company full of kids, kids that to me were like my own kids. I didn't just see them as soldiers. I saw them as my son and as my daughters. And now all of a sudden, like I said, going from combat sports, and not that I'm going away or anything. It's adding to my plate. It's adding to, I don't know, how can you say it, to the shovel of life that I'm just shoveling down my throat, man. It's great, bro. It's great to know that I'm making a difference somewhere else. And I'm still being looked at, as like that mentoring person, that I'm being able to take advantage of doing,
Wow. Well, you know what? I look at you myself as a mentor as well. You're one of my mentors. When we met and we came on board and started doing what we were doing with each other, and the way you came down, and you're so service orientated and so giving. You took me under your wing, and you came down. You supported us at our gym. You came in and you've done demonstrations on hand wrapping. Used me as a guinea pig. I remember that. You put me on the spot. I was like, oh man, I got to perform here in front of Big Surge. Man, that was hard. I was sweating, but I was trying not to let people. It was hot anyway, so it didn't matter. But brother, we love you and we appreciate you. And for those of you, and I know Big Surge won't say this, but him and his wife and his family have been in a major battle at home, having to do with breast cancer. And his warrior wife, Anna, she is just a warrior herself, but all our prayers have been going to you, and always wishing you the best, because you are there for everybody, and you have been there for everybody. And you have a world of warriors now that you got to take care of, and it just keeps adding. Your world is getting bigger and bigger and bigger as you go, and I appreciate you, and I know anybody who knows you appreciates you and your family, because they got your back, and no matter what, so thank you for your service, not only in combat sports, boxing, and what you're doing now with the baseball, and becoming a high school coach. I mean, that is cool. I like it. Things you never thought you were going to do, man. It's just going to continue to happen for you. So my question is right now, Big Surge. I see that it looks like Sinicia Estrada is going to be going after championship belt number 2. Is that correct?
No, I want to say this is going to be her 3rd or 4th, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember the NA. She has the WBA. I want to say the WBO. This fight that she's, I want to say she's unifying the WBC belt. That's the one that she's coming out for next. She doesn't have the green belt, okay. But yeah, man. I mean, her opportunities. Top Rank came and is giving her the opportunities that she deserves. The fights that she deserves. It's one of those things, that she's more than deserving of these opportunities, and it's about time she gets them.
That's fantastic, and it's like we were talking about earlier. How hard it has been for. If the men thought it was hard it being in the boxing world, ask the women. They know what it's all about, and these women, and we know these women warriors, man. They give us their heart and souls when they go out there every time they step into a ring. So Big Surge. I mean, you see this happening, and you're a part of this amazing breakthrough. I call it a breakthrough because. If it wasn't, we've had the ones that came up and started it back in the day, like we were talking about with Austin. But now Sinicia Estrada, I mean, she's an excellent face to the boxing world to help lead this to continue to grow and get bigger. Along with what Librado Andrade is doing in Mexico with Adalita and bringing Mexico up to the surface, even with the amateurs. But my gosh, I mean, what a beautiful thing to be a part of, man. That's got to be something for you to see.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful to see women's boxing, moving in the direction that it should be going. Like Austin said earlier on, you can't deny, the women that have been doing this for, your Christy Martins, and it's just amazing to see the direction that it's going. I've been blessed to have been on this ride with Sinicia, and to actually see firsthand how the difference in levels and the difference in pays, and it's wild, because at the end of the day, it's an able body going into a squared circle, a ring, a triangle, whatever shape you want to call it, whatever shape you want to make it. They're risking their life, no different than a man, So, the stigma that it's at, oh, it's just pitter patter, they're not hurt. Okay, well, it's not pitter patter. They train just as hard as men do. They hit just as hard as men do. It's just it needs to come out, and women's boxing has flourished, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Not necessarily in the sense that I'm out there making a difference myself for women's boxing, but to be able to make a difference, at least for my woman boxer, my Sinicia Estrada, and whatever other young ladies are out there making a difference, Jessica, I work with another young lady on her 3rd pro fight. It's just women athletes are amazing, not just because I have, of my 6 kids, 5 of them are girls. I don't say it like that, but no, I mean, women athletes are commendable. They work just as hard, and you can't knock them for that, and they shouldn't be stripped or not given the same opportunities as any other athlete, because at the end of the day, that's what they are. They're athletes.
Right. And you say you're not actively doing things for women's boxing, but just speaking those words, you're advocating for women's boxing. So you are.
I hear
I mean, you're doing a lot more than a lot of other people, and as a woman, and I am not even a fighter, but as a woman, just with women, children, and watching how the sports, the Olympics, all of it has just evolved, even in my lifetime and my children's lifetimes. It's mind-blowing how long it's taken, but having more men like you advocate for women's sports, you know what I mean? just alone your words spoken do wonders. So
thank you. Yeah,
From
no,
all
absolutely. I've had the pleasure, like I said, of working with many female fighters. You know, Vanessa Demopoulos being another one in MMA. Little Monster Demo, shouts out to her. But yeah, man. I mean, like I said, it's great to see the opportunities popping out for these women. And yeah, you know, Sinisa, another strap. Let's go.
Let's go. Man.
Right over my little wall here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Those are all straps that we've gotten with Sinisa, you know, from.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
That is awesome, man.
I love your little wall back there.
So yeah, man, to me, you know, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see those opportunities happen. And I mean, you know, it's even more beautiful to be a part of it, you know.
So speaking of opportunities, not to kind of change course here, are you by chance going to Dubai?
Well, I just submitted a copy of my passport, so I would hope that I'm going. So yeah,
right on, man.
Fuck yeah.
I'm excited about that. You know, being able to bring a whole nother combat sport to Dubai. I mean, it's great. It's groundbreaking. BYB Extreme is going balls out with it. Mike Vasquez, Greg Bloom. You know, it's great what they're doing. You know, Dada, it's amazing. This is an amazing promotion to be a part of. Mel Valenzuela, the matchmaker, amazing matchmaking. I'll tell you that. There is no A side, B side, bro. It's a 50-50. You're going in there, and I meant to say that, you know, when Trout was on here, that I've been able to be a part of this organization. I've been with them going on my second year already. And man, like in those fights, anything goes, you know, you get caught and it happens, you know, you could be the prettiest guy. You could be the most favorite guy and you get caught, just like in any, you know, MMA or boxing, you get caught, but man, there's no cushion. There's no padding. There's nothing. So it's a lot easier for you to get caught off some stupid little hit and feel it, you know? So yeah, more power to, you know, the organization BYB. I probably represent, excited to be a part of.
That's awesome. I'm excited to hear that you're, as long as, you know, all the fight gods are working together and it can happen. I'm happy for you, man.
No, absolutely. You know, I mean, anything can happen
out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything can happen. I try not to jinx it. That's why I'm like, well, you know, hopefully everything goes right. You know, I submitted my passport, so let's hope we're moving in that direction.
Yep. That's awesome.
That is awesome,
right?
Man. That is incredible, bro. That is incredible. I'm happy for you, man. You deserve it.
Yeah, he does.
All the work and service you put out there for everybody and in the past and all the way up until today, man. It's great. You greatly deserve that there.
That's an opportunity.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Big Surge. We're definitely going to be looking out and seeing where you're at. You know what I mean? And my gosh, man, have fun, enjoy it.
We'll link up soon, man. We'll link up soon. Like I said, I've just been juggling 1,000,001 things as best as I can and trying to be where I can be. And you know, we'll link up soon. We'll link up real soon.
Well, we appreciate you blessing us today, being on the show.
Sir.
Thank you so much.
It's awesome to see you, Serge. Awesome to see
you.
Thanks, man. It's great seeing you too, man. We got to work together again. You got to bring another kid out here.
Right? Yeah. Right, crazy guy.
You know what's funny is I think 3 of us are going to Denver. We're working on a Denver fight with 3 of us. That'll be announced soon. February 25th is the target date. But you know how boxing goes, so we're shooting for that in Denver. But so we'll see what happens. I'll let you know what happens there as well. Yeah, we just left there. You know, Jimmy got his 24 to 28 second TKO over I think it was Brandon Parker. Yeah, Brandon Parker. Nice kid. Appreciate him. But that being said, let's start with you, Big Sir. Do you have any final words for tonight?
Nah, man. Other than just, you know, thank you guys for having me on here again. I know I'm scarcely on here. I try to make it, and for some reason, it just seems that there's always something going on Sunday evenings, and I just, I can't be in two places at once, but this time, I was fortunate enough to be here. I kind of saw something about Trout earlier on during the week. I didn't really get a chance to read that he was your actual, your guest. And yeah, so it worked out for me just to, even exchange words with him. Trout, if you're watching, like I said, at the beginning, I was always a fan, still a fan, always will be a fan. Good luck. Good luck on your upcoming fight. Again, thank you guys for having me, and I look forward to linking up with y'all soon. Trout, if you need a cut, man, I'm right here, player.
Yeah,
let's do this. Let's do this.
I got
well,
you.
There's always a spot here for you, Big Surge. It's always going to be there, no matter what.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. So, Omar, you have any last things you want to say?
No, but that was it's a really good show. It was awesome. It was to hear about Austin Trout, and it's all you guys as well. It's always fun to be on this show, and chop it up. Definitely, and it's definitely nice to meet you, Red Hot Rob.
Hey, right on. Thanks, Omar.
But yeah, and it's good to see you again, Surge, Big Surge, and
likewise
Brittany as well. It's always a good time.
Yes, sir.
And Brittany, any last words there?
Man, like everybody else, it's an honor to be here. I was not gonna miss the opportunity to talk to Austin Trout. Good luck to him on his Knuckle Mania 3 fight. Make sure you are subscribed to the BKFC app. Austin should have a direct link. If he doesn't already, he should have it posted. So that way he can get the credit, so that way you can watch his fight. The app is $5 a month, $4.99 or something like that. BKFC TV app. So that's how you can watch Austin Trout's fight in February 17th, I believe it is.
Yeah.
That'll be in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Other than that, I got to give a huge shout out to Sparta SE and my boy Laurent T. Nelson, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody caught that. So Sparta put on, it's originally an 8-man tournament. They had a hell of a time getting this to be an 8-man tournament. Nobody wants to fight Laurent T. And I know why, you know what I mean? Serge, you know why. Laurent is just a fucking dog in there. He lays it all out there. He brings it. He's an entertaining fucking fighter. The 8-man tournament turned into a 4-man tournament. It's normally boxing, kickboxing, then MMA. It went down to just kickboxing and MMA. Laurent T won for a third consecutive time. He beat a former UFCer. And man, he's just a phenomenal guy, dude. Like, he wanted to walk out to his little girl's favorite song, Barbie Girl, and the sound guy buffed it, you know what I mean? So like in his like closing speech, he's like, "Hey baby Lakin, this is for you. I'm a Barbie girl." You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no other fighter gonna do that. You're the motherfucking king of Sparta and you're Barbie girling. So I gotta give it up for Laurent. He's a great guy. He fights for BYB as well. He's fighting XFN kickboxing, another former UFCer in February. So keep your eye on Laurent T. Nelson. Smash Nation is here, baby, and we're here to stay. But that's about it. Stay tuned with me on my social media pages. I believe I should be announcing for Airtight Boxing on the 10th, the 18th, and the 25th of February. So I got a big full month packed up. As long as, like I said, shit happens, we get it, right? Mm-hmm. As long as all the fight gods are in alignment and the universe is going in the fight favors, we should be out there. So that's it for me. I love talking to you boys. You guys are like a second fam. It's been an honor. Rob, I'll see you this week in class.
Appreciate you, girl. Love you, girl. And
love you.
You tell that big man of yours and has the giant shadow. We said what's up. Give him a big old hug for us as well.
I will.
Red hot. Any final words here, brother?
Just thanks for having me. Like, it was really nice to be be a part of this, and I actually get to talk to Austin. I never talked to him before, and it was really cool to hear that he's supporting me as well. So that's awesome, man.
Awesome.
It's really
That
good.
is
Yeah,
awesome,
it's good.
man. That was cool.
It goes some, for me, I don't give myself credit for a lot of things. So when somebody says something like that, it really touches me. So it's amazing. And Sergio, good to see you, my brother.
Likewise,
I hope we do get to work again soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always ready.
We will. If I have anything to do to make it happen, we will all work together again.
All right. Yeah. It's a good family, bro. We got family here. So, Brittany, I will be seeing you this week. Thank you for the Final Round Fitness shout outs and stuff like that. We are trying to do something big there, something good. It's good for people in their health, So, Dave, you're my brother. Omar, nice to see you, man. And good work today. Nice working with you as well. Dave, I look forward to seeing you anytime when these fights are coming up. You guys come out here, you know that you get all the love and respect at the gym. You guys are always welcome. So,
man, I just love my Colorado peeps. Red Hot Robbie, my brother.
You too, bro.
Till the end, bro.
God bless you.
God bless you too. I want to give a big shout out to Austin Trout. Thank you so much, Austin, for blessing us tonight with that interview. We're going to follow Austin Trout. We're going to watch the fight. We're going to see him win. And then we're going to get it. We're going to get him back on the show as well. And not to mention, it looks like we're going to be speaking a little bit about some mentorship programs and some Rocksteady boxing this week. We don't let those things slide by. Those are opportunities for all of us. Again, we got to give a big shout out, and I got to give a big shout out to Raul Lizarraga. He is our ABO champion. He's also the GBO champion. He fights next Saturday. We're going to be at the fight, so I'm going to be representing the ABO, and I believe we're going to be crowning him again, putting that belt around his waist again.
Let's get it.
We just had a phenomenal, actually, Temecula Boxing Academy, Jesse Moreno and crew, man. I'm telling you, Felix and just everybody that was there working it. What a blessing it was. It was amazing to see. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, we even had Jesse had his own horses there, and they were dance trotting. They were just doing a lot of different things, not to mention banging it out in the ring. We saw Comadre, number 3, I believe, in the nationals, or he's a national amateur champ. It's always good to see those kids come up. Like I said, Temecula Boxing's been at it for 20 years. They're starting to come into their own and what have you. And it was just something to see. I got to see Lee Espinoza. He was there, plus a lot of other locals. Got to see Mr. Ruiz from and Rick Prado. They were there. They actually gave me an interview there too as well. So we're going to hopefully see them soon on the show. I invited them on as well. But just a big shout out to everything that's coming up to all of us and everybody in the game. God bless everybody. I hope everybody has a beautiful week. And I'm going to say this because this is what we've always said, especially coming from the House of Pain. Boxing saves more lives than it'll ever take. And we're going to leave it with that. Anyway, everybody, thanks for joining us. You be blessed. You guys have an amazing week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Take care.
Bye, y'all.
All right.